Okay, we are back with another Dokkan video. This is probably my first Dokkan video, so it probably isn't correct for me to say another, but we'll go with it. For now, we will be reviewing Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle Then versus Now. For this video, we will be taking a look at characters from the first anniversary or the first year of the game, specifically the Dokkan Fest characters from the first year and the first year of the game, and seeing how their legacy has changed since then. And of course, we got to start with the GOAT first, Super Gogeta. And of course, I say the GOAT not to spark a fusion war in the comments section, but rather when Gogeta came out, when Super Gogeta came out, he made or broke your account. Honestly, he was just incredible for the time. His leader skill was unmatched, and look at that SSR art. I mean, come on. And I remember seeing him on the friends list and always, wishing I would have him too. And thankfully, I did eventually end up getting him shortly after. But he was always a really cool character. And I think he was a great choice for the first anniversary. And I believe that his spiritual successor currently is the Super Gogeta, or Super Saiyan Gogeta specifically, that we got from the ninth anniversary of Dreams. Uh, and he is an absolutely amazing character. What they did for the ninth anniversary characters this year, or I should say the previous year, since we're about to go into the 10th anniversary now, is they made sure that they were good enough to handle the content for the rest of the year comfortably. And I think they gave this Gogeta the tools to do so. He has an excellent leader skill of Movie Heroes 200%, and as we know, Movie Heroes just continues to get buffs pretty much all the time. And this Gogeta had excellent abilities. He had amazing dodge, amazing rainbow orb changing, multiple supers, and he also is massively raising attack for 4 turns. So that means you can float him off, and then on the turn you float him off, you can use the Gogeta special active skill, and that is just, I think, really good character design. Overall, he was a really fun unit to use with amazing animations, and I think he is an excellent successor to STR Super Gogeta from the first anniversary all the way to the ninth anniversary. And come on, just look at that SSR art. Now, moving on, another Dokkan Fest we can look at is Super Saiyan 3 Goku, the original AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku. And I believe when he came out, he was, of course, just so hype. A pattern you'll see in the early days of Dokkan is they were just spamming the really cool, really hype characters turn one. Obviously, the transformation and active skills and standbys were not introduced back then, and this is what they did for the first year. And when this guy Easy Aid, he was a really, really fun addition to the game. And of course, Easy A, I mean, I think a lot of people can agree, has been one of the best things to happen to the game ever, along with the global sync and, of course, Super Easy A as well. His Super Easy A is also really great. But yeah, this character is very explosive, and he is just such a fun character to use. And I believe his spiritual successor would be the Super Saiyan 3 Angel Goku from the Golden Week celebration of 2024. This character is an absolute goat on the Majin Buu Saga team. He is such an amazing tank turn one. I mean, 90% damage reduction, and then being able to get enough supers to maybe even get to 100% damage reduction, I believe, is just so fun, I think. And him just coming out turn one, being able to tank anything is just amazing, and it feels awesome. Now, I do understand that they're not exactly the same. This is the Super Saiyan 3 Goku from the Hirudegarn movie doing the Dragon Fist. So I made an alternative, and I would say that you can also point to Super Saiyan 3 Goku, the Dragon Fist from New Year's of 2023. Well, it was 2023 going into 2024 New Year's. Uh, but this is, of course, you can see how similar their arts are right there. Personally, I prefer the original art, but I think the new art is still pretty fire. And this character was really pretty sweet when he came out. Him and Hirudegarn both had 70% chances to dodge, and I think those are always really fun, even if the dodge can fail sometimes, and make some pretty funny the truth DT compilation videos. But when he gets into this standby form and he can just shoot out that dragon fist, w- nothing beats it. This guy has got aesthetics. I will say some of the animations might look a little bit funky, but overall, I think he's a pretty sick unit. And moving on. Ah, yes, TEQ Cell, the original TEQ Cell Dokkan Fest. Now, we haven't gotten a cell in a very long time, and the int perfect cell that is on screen, his EZA was, it was a while ago, but due to the 10th anniversary and its proximity to the current recording of this video, he's actually boosted currently in game. So I believe this current spiritual successor to tech cell from the first year is definitely the int LR cell. With these buffs and boosts that these characters have right now, it just makes the game so much more enjoyable. These characters that we've had for so long, and now they're boosted in our box, and we can use them to clear events and get really high attack stat numbers. It's just, how can that not be fun? And yeah, so that does it for Tech Cell. Ah, yes. 10 years of Dokkan and still no LR Kid Buu. Maybe one day. But Physical Kid Buu, of course, came out and he was in excellent support for the longest time. He had an amazing support, unrivaled support ability. And his Super EZA also came out, and that was, I think, a really, really fun Super EZA with the damage reduction that he can get up to and the even stronger support that he can give. But if you were to look at his spiritual successor, I would have to say it must be STR Kid Buu, who recently got his EZA with the physical Super Saiyan 2/3 Goku. And this Kid Buu is incredible. He has an amazing chance to nullify melee supers, and his attack stats are just can get so high, and he can tank so well. And I think he's a really fun unit. I think these EZAs that they're doing, uh, you know, the physical Super Saiyan 2/3 Goku, LR Tech Broly, this STR Kid Buu are just so fun to use because I think one of the most fun aspects of Dokkan is just using a character who can just overwhelm the opponent offensively, and that's always just so cool to me. Anyway, moving on. Ah, yes. I believe the spiritual successor to full power Frieza, physical full power Frieza from the first year of the game, is just physical full power Frieza again. Now, this might look confusing, but physical full power Frieza did get his Super EZA semi recently this year in 20 or last year in 2024, and it caused him to be a really really explosive and really fun unit. I think it reflects Frieza's game or reflects Frieza's sort of the way he is in the anime, where he's at 100% power and it's over in a flash almost. You know what I mean? And Frieza is really strong right out the gate. He can get really high attack stat numbers while having insane damage reduction, and I think that just makes it so fun to use this guy. He's amazing in Battlefield, and he's amazing for clearing that like nasty Planet Namek Saga mission for that one EX mission. And yeah, for now, I think this is probably physical full power Frieza's spiritual successor. It's himself. What a goat. Uh, but I do think this can change this year because this guy, LR AJL Full Power Frieza, he is due up for his EZA, and I think it could certainly happen this year, perhaps maybe even in the 10th anniversary. I think he would be an incredible EZA, him and LR Namek Goku, who people are really wanting LR Namek Goku to be part of the 10th anniversary, and that might be one way he could be, is if his LR as well as this full power Frieza's LR EZA And if they do EZA, I am confident that they will be incredible and that this physical full power Frieza from the first year of the game will certainly have a successor in him. Anyway, moving on. Yes. If if it wasn't for this guy, it would be the year of Super Saiyan 3 Goku. But Broly just had to come here and just put a stop to all of that. I believe SGR Broly's spiritual successor is the newest TEQ LR Broly from this year, or sorry, 2024's worldwide download celebration. This unit is just, he reflects Broly in the movie. Like the way Broly is in the movie is reflected so well in game, because the SDR Broly back then, he would actually reduce his defense all the way down to zero. That was part of his passive, and a lot of the Brolys were like that. And I don't think for the better. I think it was always pretty annoying for him to reduce his defense to such low numbers. But this Broly is an invincible juggernaut. I love that they finally, after so long, used the physical Golden Frieza active skill condition for a premium unit for this guy. And it is just, you can do it whenever you want, and you can play in so many different ways with this guy. You can choose to stay in his base form and become an invincible tank, or you could put him in slot 2 in his base form and have him support the rest of the rotation with the attack and defensive support as well as crit, or you could immediately transform him and get closer and closer to that active skill turn and raise his attack even further and further. And he is just so invincible. He can get such high attack stats with him raising attack and whatnot, and he is just such a fun unit, and I think definitely the highlight of the worldwide download celebration, certainly. But that's not all for STR Broly. As I said, this 2024 was Broly's year. Broly got so many characters, and I think he has many characters who could be labeled as his spiritual successor. Of course, we talked about Tech LR Broly, but there's several more. Of course, there is the Int LR Broly, who is just turn one legendary Super Saiyan Broly. And he was, of course, from part two of the Worldwide Download Celebration this year. And while his kit is a little bit confusing at times, I think he is a really fun unit, and as the Truth DT said, you gotta respect the man's resume. He just does not die. He is so fun, and I thought it was such a really cool thing to do to make this Int LR start a turn Broly kind of a tech option almost, because he has the revive, he has the domain, he has the guarding, the damage reduction, the support after the revival. I think just the Rolodex of abilities that he has makes him a really fun unit to bring. And of course, we can't forget the AGL Broly from the ninth anniversary as well. He is an incredible finisher. He was great in the Bulma and the Goku and Frieza fights as well, because he can just dish out those supers, and once he transforms, he is a finisher. He can just demolish the enemy, and I think he is a really fun character because it's really fun just to use a character who can just keep on destroying the enemy with so many supers again and again and again. And if we're talking about finishers, then we have to talk about the EZA Tech LR Broly, who is also very good in terms of the damage stats he can put up. For a character that people have had in their box for years, just EZAing this card, and now he can do like 120 million attack stat in one turn, I think is a great feeling. And it just reaffirms that EZA is definitely one of the best things to happen to this game. And all these Brolys, I think, have a shot at calling themselves the spiritual successors to this original STR Broly from the first year. But I think this can also extend to other Brolys that aren't even mentioned in this image here. I think you could also talk about, of course, his STR Super EZA. The STR Broly here got his Super EZA, and he is a pretty good support. And I like his levels of damage reduction and the attack raising for 3 turns. That can be really fun. He can get to really fun attack stats and support his team really well. As well as there is the physical LR, Broly, Chilai, and Lemmo. And a little fun fact about that, uh, aside from Bio Broly, uh, Broly, Chilai, and Lemmo, I believe, is the only Broly card to have the big bad bosses. And as we know, AGL Dragon Ball Super Broly does not have big bad bosses, nor does Chilai. So Lemmo is the common factor. So watch out for Lemmo. All I'm saying. All right. But of course, a lot of people, that character is definitely, uh, I think, mixed amongst the community. But he can be really, that character can be really fun with their just 100% chance to dodge if you get the 7 key orbs. And another person who I think could also be the spiritual successor, who isn't mentioned, is of course Prime Battle LR Bio Broly. I think the love for Broly that he got this year is just phenomenal. And Prime Battle LR Bio Broly being as good as he is with the guarding and the taunt and everything he can do is just it's really fun stuff. I think they knocked it out of the park with the character selection for this year. Really, or 2024. I really do think so. Anyway, moving on. Yes, Super Janemba. Now, when Super Janemba came out, of course, the big hotness was just the STR Gogeta, who he had released alongside with during the first anniversary. I think because back then defense was not as important to the game. That really came about like later on, once we started going into the more modern eras of Dokkan. But into Janemba got his time to shine in the sun. Certainly when he got his easy A, he became such a beast. Everyone just loved this guy. He was just undeniable with that guard and that defense and that dodge. He was just incredible. And I believe that his spiritual successor is certainly the easy A physical LR Janemba, Super Janemba, that came out along with during the worldwide celebration in 2024. He, I think he is right up there with Broly as being some of the best villain units in the game, and it is just so amazing once again having these units who we've had in our boxes for so long, and then they easy A and then turn into these just monsters who can rival the power of the newly released LRs. And this guy can get to really high attack stats. He's really fun on the Tech Buhan team, and the nullifications with the key blast nullifications and teleporting it uh, into a portal. He's just a really fun unit, and the rage mode is just sick. And I think this guy is definitely the spiritual successor because he just puts up numbers like crazy and can guard and is just he's an MVP. What can I say? Anyway, moving on. Of course. Anyway, we did a full circle back. We said originally that SCR Super Gogeta's spiritual successor would likely be the 9th anniversary Super Saiyan Gogeta who transforms into Blue Gogeta. But I believe that his true successor has to be Tech Super Gogeta. Of course, the Tech Super Gogeta transforms from the Tech base Goku and base Vegeta, and they transform into this guy on turn 4. Now, they do have an active skill condition, but once they do transform into this guy, oh, he is unmatched on the field. When he touches down, the fight is most likely won because he can guard like and tank pretty much against everything. He can put up very high attack stat numbers. He does crits, he has additionals, uh, and of course the rainbow orb changing and the damage reduction and the scouter, it's just he is so overloaded with abilities that he just becomes undeniable. And I think he is really deserving. Gogeta as a character is really deserving for a character to have that much power, I think. Uh, and I think, we're about to get into the 10th anniversary, and I think it's a very high probability that this STR Gogeta on the left will super easy A, and I believe that that will be a really incredible moment. I think that that will be really hype. And I think his spiritual successor for now, till then, his spiritual successor for now is certainly the Tech Super Gogeta. He is an incredible unit, so fun to use. These characters that EZA'd so long ago, but now they're or have, they released so long ago, but they EZA'd recently, and now they're just so undeniably strong. I think that just makes the game so much more fun for older players and newer players, and uh, it just makes Dokkan really, really exciting, and I cannot wait for the 10th anniversary because I'm sure they will continue their good track. Please do like the video if you liked it. It really helps out the channel, and please do subscribe. It'll really help me out a lot. Thank you.